You think you understand power. You think you know how the world really works. But let me ask you something, why do good people finish last? Why do the honest struggle while the cunning thrive? Why does playing fair feel like playing to lose? Before we dive into these game-changing insights, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to this channel. Trust me, what you're about to learn will change how you see everything. Today, we're exploring the mind of Niccolò Machiavelli, the man who dared to write what everyone else only whispered. 5 centuries ago, he pulled back the curtain on power, revealing truths so uncomfortable that his name became synonymous with cunning. But here's what most people miss: Machiavelli wasn't teaching evil. He was teaching survival. He was teaching effectiveness. He was teaching you how to navigate a world that doesn't reward naivety. These 10 lessons aren't about becoming a villain. They're about becoming dangerously smart, the kind of smart that sees through manipulation, anticipates betrayal, and builds unshakable power. The kind of smart that wins. Let's begin. Lesson 1, the world rewards results, not intentions. You've been lied to your entire life. They told you that good intentions matter. That trying your best is enough. That the universe somehow keeps score of your noble efforts. It doesn't. Machiavelli understood something brutal: history judges you by outcomes, not by the purity of your heart. The road to irrelevance is paved with good intentions. You can mean well, try hard, and care deeply, and still fail completely. And when you fail, nobody asks about your intentions. They just remember that you failed. Think about it. Your boss doesn't promote you for wanting to succeed. Your business doesn't survive on your passion alone. Your relationships don't thrive because you meant to be better. The world is a results-based economy, and you're either producing value or you're not. This is why Machiavelli argued that a prince must be willing to enter into evil when forced by necessity. Not because evil is good, but because effectiveness demands adaptability. The leader who refuses to compromise their methods, who remains rigidly good while their kingdom burns, is not virtuous, they're negligent. You need to stop hiding behind your intentions. Stop using "but I tried" as a shield. Stop expecting credit for effort alone. The market doesn't care. Your competition doesn't care. Reality doesn't care. Start obsessing over results. What actually worked? What measurably improved? What concrete outcome did you produce? This shift in thinking, from intention to impact, is the first step toward dangerous intelligence. Because here's the truth: the people who change the world aren't always the nicest. They're the ones who get things done. Lesson 2, it's better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. This is Machiavelli's most famous lesson, and it's wildly misunderstood. People think it's about being a tyrant. It's not. It's about understanding human nature at its core. Love is unreliable. It's emotional, conditional, and fragile. People love you when it's convenient, when you're useful, when it feels good. But the moment loving you becomes costly, that love evaporates. Love is a fair-weather friend. Fear, however, is consistent. Fear is reliable. Fear respects boundaries. When people fear the consequences of betraying you, crossing you, or disappointing you, they remain disciplined. Not because they want to, but because they have to. Let me be clear, this doesn't mean ruling through terror. Machiavelli explicitly warned against being hated. Fear and hatred are different. Fear respects power. Hatred seeks revenge. You want people to fear disappointing you, not to hate you for existing. Think about your own behavior. Who do you ghost? Someone you love but who has no consequences for being ignored. Who do you never miss a deadline for? Someone you fear disappointing, a tough boss, a strict teacher, a person whose respect you cannot afford to lose. In your career, your relationships, your life, establish consequences. Not through cruelty, but through consistency. When you say something matters, act like it matters. When someone crosses a line, enforce the boundary. People will test you, and if you're all love and no fear, they'll learn they can exploit you without consequence. The dangerously smart understand this: respect without fear is just popularity. And popularity is worthless when the stakes get high. Be respected. Be reliable. And yes, be someone whose displeasure carries weight. Lesson 3, never outshine the master. You're talented. Maybe brilliant. You work harder than everyone around you. You deliver exceptional results. And somehow, instead of getting promoted, you get pushed aside. Why? Because you made your superior feel threatened. Machiavelli understood that humans are driven by insecurity as much as ambition. The people above you got where they are by fighting for position, and they're constantly afraid of losing it. When you outshine them, when you're too visible, too impressive, too obviously superior, you trigger their defensive instincts. And defensive people don't promote threats. They eliminate them. This is one of the hardest lessons for high achievers to swallow. You think merit alone should carry you forward. But organizations aren't meritocracies. They're political ecosystems. And in any ecosystem, you must understand the predators. Your boss doesn't want a subordinate who makes them look inadequate. They want someone who makes them look good. This means your brilliance must be deployed strategically. Make your ideas sound like their ideas. Let them take credit publicly while you gain their trust privately. Shine, but always redirect the spotlight upward. This isn't weakness. This is strategy. The dangerously smart know that direct assault rarely works. You don't climb by pushing people down. You climb by making powerful people want to pull you up. There will be time for you to be the master. But while you're the student, the apprentice, the subordinate, learn to manage egos. Let others bask in glory while you accumulate real power, trust, access, knowledge, and position. The graveyard of corporate America is filled with talented people who were just a little too impressive a little too soon. Don't join them. Lesson 4, appear weak when you are strong. Deception isn't just for con artists. It's a survival skill. And one of the most powerful forms of deception is looking harmless when you're deadly. Machiavelli knew that showing your full strength invites opposition. When people see you as a threat, they unite against you. When they see you as weak, they underestimate you. And underestimation is one of your greatest strategic advantages. Think about poker. The best players don't announce their strong hands. They blend. They appear uncertain. They let opponents bet heavily into their winning position. The same principle applies to life. When you're building something, keep it quiet. When you're developing a skill, don't broadcast it. When you're planning your next move, let people think you're standing still. The element of surprise is a force multiplier. This is why the most dangerous people you know often seem harmless. They don't need to prove themselves. They don't need validation. They're comfortable being underestimated because they know what they're capable of, and they know the advantage of striking from an unexpected position. In negotiations, appear more desperate than you are. In competition, let rivals think they're ahead. In conflicts, seem more conciliatory than necessary. Then, when the moment is right, execute with devastating precision. This lesson requires ego control. You must be secure enough not to need recognition. You must be patient enough to let others think they're winning. You must be confident enough to look weak. The dangerously smart don't need to look dangerous. They just need to be dangerous. Lesson 5, the ends justify the means, when the ends are worth it. This is Machiavelli's most controversial principle, and it's often taken out of context. He's not saying anything goes. He's saying that moral absolutism is a luxury you can't always afford. Life presents you with impossible choices. Save your career or protect your pride. Compromise your principles or lose everything you've built. Tell a hard truth or preserve a crucial relationship. The naive believe there's always a right answer that satisfies all moral frameworks. The dangerously smart recognize that sometimes every option costs something, and you must choose which price you're willing to pay. Machiavelli argued that a leader who loses their state because they refuse to compromise has failed their responsibility. They've prioritized their personal moral purity over the well-being of those depending on them. That's not virtue. That's selfishness dressed as righteousness. This doesn't mean abandon your ethics. It means understand that ethics exist in context. Lying to spare someone's feelings. Breaking a rule to serve a higher principle. Using tactics you dislike to protect something you love. You must decide what you're ultimately trying to achieve. What's your end goal? What actually matters? Once you're clear on that, you can make pragmatic decisions about means without drowning in moral paralysis. The dangerously smart ask, what's the outcome I'm responsible for? Then they do what's necessary to achieve it, bearing the moral weight of their choices rather than hiding behind rigid principles that produce terrible results. Real power requires accepting moral complexity. Children see in black and white. Adults navigate shades of gray. Which one are you? Lesson 6, Study human nature, not human ideals. You want to know why you keep getting disappointed? Because you judge people by who they should be instead of who they are. Machiavelli's genius was observing humans as they actually behave, not as philosophy says they should behave. He didn't ask, what's the ideal human? He asked, how do humans actually respond to fear, greed, and opportunity? This is the gap that destroys most people. You trust people because you think they should be trustworthy. You expect loyalty because loyalty seems right. You believe in fairness because fairness is ideal. But humans aren't ideal. We're tribal, self-interested, status-seeking creatures. We say we value honesty but reward polite lies. We claim to want equality but constantly jockey for hierarchy. We preach long-term thinking but choose short-term pleasure. The dangerously smart study actual patterns, not stated values. They watch what people do, not what they say. They understand incentives, fears, and desires. They predict behavior based on psychology, not morality. This makes you manipulable to no one. When you understand the game everyone's actually playing, beneath the surface claims and social performances, you cannot be easily deceived. You see the real motivations. You anticipate the betrayals. You know who to trust because you understand what actually drives them. Study history. Study psychology. Study the patterns of human behavior across cultures and centuries. What you'll find is depressing at first. Humans are remarkably consistent in their flaws. But then it becomes empowering. Because when you know the game, you can play it better than anyone who's still pretending the game doesn't exist. Lesson 7, Fortune favors the bold, but timing is everything. Machiavelli compared fortune to a river. When it's calm, you can build dams and channels to control it. But when it floods, it destroys everything in its path. The key is acting during the calm to prepare for the flood. Here's what this means for you: opportunity has windows. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. When the moment arrives, when the market shifts, when the job opens, when the person is available, when the idea is hot, you must act decisively. But, and this is crucial, boldness without timing is just recklessness. You can't force every door open. You must develop the wisdom to know when to push hard and when to wait. This requires reading the environment. Is momentum building or dying? Are conditions favorable or hostile? Is your preparation sufficient or incomplete? The dangerously smart develop a feel for timing. They sense when to strike and when to hold. They're not impulsive, but neither are they paralyzed. They gather information rapidly, make decisions with incomplete data, and commit fully once they've chosen. Think about every major opportunity you've missed. I guarantee most of them weren't lost because you tried and failed. They were lost because you waited too long, overthought it, needed one more sign, wanted to be more ready. Fortune doesn't reward the perfectly prepared. Fortune rewards those who are prepared enough and bold when the moment comes. Start practicing decisive action in low-stakes situations. Build your boldness muscle. Learn to act before you feel fully ready. Because in high-stakes moments, hesitation is a decision, and it's usually the wrong one. Lesson 8. Create dependency, never reliance. Power comes from being needed, not from being nice. Machiavelli understood that the most secure position is the irreplaceable one. Look at your current position in life. Are you valuable or are you replaceable? Could your job function without you? Could your relationships survive your absence? Could your projects continue if you disappeared? If the answer is yes, you have no real power. You're a convenience, not a necessity. The dangerously smart deliberately create dependency. They develop unique skills. They control critical resources. They become the connection point between important people. They position themselves as the only person who can solve certain problems. This doesn't mean making yourself obnoxiously indispensable through sabotage or withholding. It means genuinely becoming so valuable that removing you creates serious problems. In your career, own knowledge that only you have. Be the person who knows how the system really works. Build relationships across silos. Become the translator, the fixer, the person who gets things done. In your relationships, be the person who adds unique value. Not through manipulation, but through genuine contribution that others cannot easily replace. But here's the flip side: never rely on anyone the way you make others rely on you. The moment you need someone more than they need you, you lose negotiating power. Maintain independence. Have options. Build redundancy in your own dependencies. The dangerously smart are the center of their own network, needed by many, dependent on none. Where do you stand? Lesson 9. Control the narrative or someone else will. History isn't written by winners. It's written by writers. And whoever controls the story controls the perception of reality. Machiavelli understood that power isn't just about what you do, it's about what people believe you did and why. Perception shapes reality. The same action can be viewed as leadership or tyranny, depending on who's telling the story. You are constantly being narrated. Your co-workers narrate your contributions. Your industry narrates your reputation. Your friends narrate your character. And if you're not actively shaping those narratives, someone else is doing it for you, probably not in your favor. The dangerously smart control their narrative. They don't wait for others to define them. They actively communicate their value, their intentions, and their achievements. Not through arrogance, but through strategic self-presentation. Document your wins. Communicate your contributions. Frame your mistakes before others frame them for you. Tell your own story in meetings, in emails, in casual conversations. This isn't vanity. It's survival. In any organization, in any social group, in any competitive environment, your reputation is your currency. And reputations are built on stories, not facts. The person who did the work but never mentions it gets overlooked. The person who talks about their work, strategically, appropriately, gets recognized. It's not fair, but it's real. Stop waiting for your merit to speak for itself. Merit is silent. You must be its voice. Lesson 10. Adapt or die. Principles are luxuries. Machiavelli's final lesson is the hardest: rigidity kills. The world changes constantly, and your strategies must change with it. You have principles. Good. But are they serving you or limiting you? Are they helping you navigate reality or preventing you from dealing with it? The dangerously smart distinguish between core values and tactical flexibility. They know what they absolutely won't compromise, their deepest ethics, their essential identity. But everything else? Negotiable. This means you must be willing to change your mind when evidence demands it. Update your strategies when circumstances shift. Abandon methods that no longer work. Let go of identities that no longer serve you. The world is filled with people clinging to outdated strategies because it's always been done this way. They're principled right into irrelevance. They refuse to adapt because adaptation feels like weakness, like giving up, like admitting they were wrong. But adaptation is strength. It's intelligence. It's survival. Look at your life right now. What are you refusing to change? What strategy keeps failing but you keep using? What belief are you clinging to despite mounting evidence against it? The dangerously smart are ruthlessly honest with themselves. They experiment. They iterate. They're not attached to being right, they're committed to finding what works. This is the ultimate lesson: be water, not stone. Water adapts to every container, flows around every obstacle, and eventually shapes the stone itself. These 10 lessons aren't comfortable. They're not what motivational speakers usually preach. They won't make you popular at dinner parties. But they will make you dangerously smart. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to make friends. He wrote it to tell the truth about power in a world that prefers comfortable lies. 500 years later, human nature hasn't changed. The game is the same. Only the players are new. You can choose to play naively, believing that good intentions and hard work are enough. Many do. Most fail. Or you can choose to play strategically, armed with uncomfortable truths about how the world actually works. This path is harder. It requires seeing reality clearly, even when that reality is ugly. It requires making difficult choices. It requires accepting that winning sometimes means getting your hands dirty. But here's what it gives you: power over your own life. The ability to navigate complex situations. The wisdom to protect yourself and those you care about. The strategic intelligence to build something real that lasts. The choice is yours. Stay comfortable in naivety, or become dangerously smart. Machiavelli is waiting to teach you. The question is, are you ready to learn?